I got into Yehudi Menuhin School, which was a scholarship given to me by his family, which paid for everything, you know, so it was a chance which my mother couldn't turn down. And so I went there, in the countryside, you know, quite idyllic school grounds and everything. It was a little bit limited socially, because it was all kind of slightly, how would you put it, nerdy, musically talented kids, you know. I think it was the best part of 10 years before I'd done some auditions and got some scholarships to come to Juilliard School of Music in New York. I was getting gigs probably by the time I was about 19 or 20, which was, you know, an amazing privilege to be able to, like, get paid for something that I loved doing. Another fucking excellent take. Fucking beautiful, gentlemen. Fantastic. Now, if I still had a choice as to where I would live in New York, I'd still live on the Upper West Side, even though it's been gentrified beyond recognition. It's still got something. It smells different. Well, for me, I just love to be near the park, man, because I go jogging and that. You know, there's some special atmospheric quality that the reservoir has, because it's this huge space where you can actually see the sky as opposed to being surrounded by buildings. I've been running around that motherfucker like since, you know, since school days, and there's something special about that place, man. Like that, if you're still up at 5 in the morning and you're at the north end of that, looking at the skyline, you know, the famous skyline which is down past the south end, like, it reminded me of like Coltrane Naima or like, you know, flamenco sketches or something like that. Still got something special. The energy of this town, it's got something which no other town will ever have. The musicians on the album, for the most part, they've done so much of their creative music making here, and it helped me get the right feeling for the album being in New York. You know, there's no other city where I could have got the right feeling for making this album. I met this guy, Nicholas Flug, who is like a representative of Blue Note in Europe. And some ideas started coming up about doing standards, doing an album of standards. And I thought, oh no, not that again, you know. But when Nicholas started talking about numbers like Sidewinder and Song for My Father and Midnight Blue and songs in that genre, I thought, fucking hell, that's great. And then he started talking about players and started talking about Ron Carter and Jack DeJohnette, which I thought was really interesting. To play with Ron Carter and Jack, it was just a chance that I couldn't say no to, you know. Working with musicians of that level, you know, for fathers, for creators of the modern jazz movements, you know, that was a fucking exhilarating idea to me. Not only those guys, but then to have like Joe Lovano come in and like for young J.D. Allen, and there was a great chemistry of like the great founder members and these young ones who come in with something you know, with some energy and fire in their belly and everything, you know, it's cool, man. Should we try it? It's a 1, 2, 3, 4.
So that one.
Yeah, exactly straight, I think. Yeah. Yeah, man. That's the one. Cool, man. We were wanting to find someone, which is a very rare beast, who can like accompany as well as solo. Kenny fits into that category of piano players who can solo absolutely beautiful with fucking immaculate taste, and he can play behind people and be really supportive. With Kenny, he's got enough of this warmth on the piano, but you just want to hear more all the time, you know? Lucky Peterson, man. Lucky, apparently he'd been playing on television since he was about 7, you know? And like, he's an amazing, intuitive player. And like, there were just some songs that we thought really needed the Hammond as opposed to the piano. And we were very lucky to get lucky, you know? He got the history of jazz involved in his playing, plus a totally fresh new way of looking at it. I really like it, man, and it was like totally through ears, you know, he does it through his ears and his talent, you know.
Play it again.
The same shit?
The do-do-do-do-do.
Okay. Yeah, man.
The last note. Gotcha. Okay.
A lot of the numbers that I'm playing have got something to do with the blues on this album, but obviously being an electric violin player and like with the background I've also got a different view of the blues. Everyone's had the blues, but like, you know, the way that different people play it, it can be either extremely refined or it can be really rough, you know. I mean, I wouldn't exactly think that Kenny Burrell was suffering when he made Midnight Blues. I don't think he was, but he just got a great feeling for the rhythmic aspects and the melodic fragments of what comprise the blues style. And it's a pretty hip up feeling number. Well, yeah, I've been playing, like, you know, jazz in various groups that I was leader of, you know, and I've got a couple of, like, really excellent groups in Poland, which is a phenomenal jazz scene, which is where I'm living most of my time now. So I've been involved in jazz playing live, and really I hadn't figured out how to do an album in the studio because I'm so conscious that jazz is a live music. Classical playing is much more physical because, like, you're not using an electric instrument for a start, so you're having to play for 2,000 people and be heard. But, like, intellectually, I think the jazz playing is far more stimulating. You're having to listen to what everyone does. The respect between the musicians is that much higher in jazz than any other form of music, I reckon. Yeah, man. Fucking great.